All right, for this one, we're diving deep. We're going to follow a fascinating thread that ties together some really mysterious ancient ruins, a forgotten tribe of warriors, and a celestial blueprint that some people believe was literally a gift from angels. It is a wild ride, so let's just jump right in. So start with this question. What if all these scattered, enigmatic sites from the Ural Mountains all the way to the British Isles, what if they weren't just random settlements? What if they were all built from the exact same incredibly advanced design? And what if that design didn't come from us? That is the core mystery we're unpacking today. Okay, so our journey starts at a place called Arkaim. It's this bizarre circular city that was discovered completely by accident in the Russian steppes back in 1987. And for the archaeologists who found it, this 4,000-year-old place it completely flipped their whole understanding of the ancient world on its head.
Now, to put this in perspective, Arkaim is as old as ancient Egypt and Babylon, but its people did something really strange. They deliberately burned their own city to the ground and then just vanished. For thousands of years, its secrets were buried, and honestly, they were almost lost forever to a construction project.
Now, you might think a 4,000-year-old city would be pretty primitive, right? Well, think again. Arkaim was anything but. It was this incredible marvel of ancient engineering. We're talking concentric defensive walls, a super sophisticated storm drainage system, fresh water piped directly into homes, and get this, even buildings treated with a fire-retardant substance.
I mean, that level of sophistication just makes the mystery even deeper. Who could build something so advanced 4,000 years ago out in the middle of the steppes? And maybe the bigger question is, why? Why would you build an absolute masterpiece only to burn it all down and disappear?
Well, the theory we're exploring proposes a really compelling answer. The idea is that the builders of Arkaim weren't some isolated local tribe. No, they were part of a legendary, wide-ranging people known as the Massagetae.
So who were these guys, the Massagetae? Well, ancient historians wrote about them as these ferocious warriors, fighting on foot and on horseback. They were actually famous for defeating the Persian king Cyrus the Great, and they were sun worshippers who absolutely loved gold, covering themselves and their horses in it.
And this is where the plot thickens. The theory draws a direct line from the Massagetae to another famous ancient people, the Dacians, from the Carpathian Mountains. And when you look at the parallels, they're kind of striking. From their warrior culture and sun worship to their curved swords and even their symbolic art. The argument is that they were wandering kin, basically two branches of the very same ancient family tree.
But the connection goes way deeper than just culture or warfare. According to this theory, the most stunning link of all is found in their architecture and what it was built to do.
Okay, just take a look at this. When you put the Dacian capital of Sarmisegetusa, the famous Stonehenge in Britain, and the city of Arkaim side by side, a pattern just jumps out at you. They're all circular, they're all astronomically aligned, and some even share these super specific features, like an inner horseshoe shape with exactly 21 positions. The theory says, come on, that's no coincidence, that's a blueprint.
So get this, the idea is these places weren't just temples for worship. They were incredibly sophisticated devices. You could even call them ancient computers, built out of earth, wood, and stone, designed for one main purpose, to read the heavens.
And how precise are we talking? Well, hold on to your hats. The theory points to analysis showing that the calendar at the Dacian sanctuary of Sarmisegetusa calculated the solar year to be 365.242197 days long. For comparison, modern astronomy calculates it at 365.242198 days. That level of accuracy from an ancient civilization is just staggering. Which, of course, leads us to the ultimate question. The one that pushes this whole theory from archaeology into a much, much more mysterious place. Where on earth did this knowledge come from? No, seriously, just think about it for a second. How could a society, thousands of years before telescopes and modern math, calculate the length of the year with near-perfect precision? It's a puzzle that just doesn't fit with the conventional story of history. Well, the theory finds its answer in a really controversial ancient text, one that's outside the standard biblical canon. The Book of Enoch. In this book, the patriarch Enoch says he was taught the secrets of the cosmos by an angel named Ural. So for anyone who's not familiar with it, the Book of Enoch tells this incredible story about how celestial beings, messengers of God, or angels, came down to earth.
And according to the text, they didn't just visit, they actually taught humanity advanced knowledge about astronomy, agriculture, and the fundamental laws of the universe.
So, based on the very detailed instructions right there in the Book of Enoch, a couple of researchers, Christopher Knight and Robert Lomas, they tried to reconstruct the astronomical computer that the angel Uriel supposedly described. The text laid out a device built with concentric rings and a central horseshoe of pillars, all designed to track celestial events with precision.
And here it is. This is the absolute climax of the theory. When Knight and Lomas finished their reconstruction, based only on that ancient text, the result was a working astronomical device that was an almost perfect, one-to-one match for the layout and design of the Dacian sanctuary at Sarmisigatusa.
And that brings us full circle, literally, connecting all the pieces of this incredible puzzle into the grand, unified theory at the heart of our source material today.
So let's just recap the theory's path, right? Otherworldly knowledge is given to humanity. It gets codified into a celestial computer called Uriel's device. Then, the ancestors of the Dacians and the Massagetae master this tech, and they carry its sacred blueprint with them as they spread across the ancient world, leaving this legacy of circular cities and stone observatories in their path.
Look, it is a mind-bending theory, and it completely reframes how you think about ancient history. Whether you see it as fact or just fascinating speculation, it leaves us all with one really powerful question. What else have we overlooked? How many other clues to a forgotten, advanced past are just sitting right there in front of us, waiting for the right key to unlock them?